District 33 Assemblyman Carmelo Garcia, the former Hoboken Housing Authority Executive Director, spoke with Hudson County View to challenge some of the remarks HHA Chairwoman Dana Wefer made in an interview with us last week. Garcia said he wanted to clear the air about the generator installation, saying the money has been in the budget for this endeavor for quite a while, but the board did not want to move on it.
Well, first and foremost, I don't understand why there seems to be some distortion of the truth, whereas there was a plan in place, there was a solution that the engineers and everyone had agreed upon in order to install these generators. The finances were there at the time. You know what? There's never been any misappropriation of funds. There's never been anything that shouldn't have covered the budget that we had laid out to phase the installation of these generators. We're going into the winter time. It's going to be very difficult now to do a proper installation. So more than likely, I don't see these things being installed till, of course, probably the springtime. And that was always a big concern. So when I hear the chairwoman talk about, these delays or things that they had to clean up, the reality was that they were caused by the chairwoman and their behavior in retaliation against me. And of course, who suffers the most are the residents.
Furthermore, Garcia insisted that the budget the board adopted last month is very similar to the one he helped draft.
The housing authorities have three forms in which the budget is created. There are grants, and then there is the rent that they receive from the tenants. I left the agency with a 99.5% occupancy, which means that the revenue increased based on those rents. What the chairwoman is not saying is that there was an appropriation from Congress that was decreased in respect to the budget anticipation. So it was at 88%, then it came in at 82%. So clearly that is going to make up the loss in that particular budget, but the numbers are just about where I left them. The reality is I had left them with a budget. It was a healthy budget. It was one that continued to get the housing authority moving in the right direction and progressing. And of course, there are changes that come about with respect to what you receive from HUD in its proration. So that's pretty much what I understand it and how I left it. And I was proud of the budget that I had presented back then. And I don't think there were many adjustments here, but overall, it was a good budget.
As far as the upcoming annual HUD review goes, Garcia indicated that while it may not go favorably, the HHA has been deemed a substandard housing authority for many years now.
Again, it is a lie to say that you're in a troubled status. HUD does not declare you troubled anymore. You are either substandard or standard, or your performance is high. Basically, we've always been there. Before I got to the housing authority, we were in a substandard position. When Mr. DeVinci was there, we were substandard. He'll tell you the facts that basically we progressed tremendously from 23 all the way up to 72.
Finally, Garcia confirmed that although he already has pending litigation against the HHA, he still plans on filing a wrongful termination suit against the governing body, which fired him in August, in the immediate future.
Well, we all know that there was a wrongful termination, and what they did to me was an injustice. The reality is that at this juncture, my rights will be protected, and legally, yes, indeed, I will file a lawsuit that will fight for what we believe in was done incorrectly in the early termination of my contract and in the framing and setup that they tried to put forth against me.
I'm John Heides with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community.